Welcome to Combat Recapped. A recent update on Conor McGregor showed that in his Halloween photos, he had shorn off his beard. A clean-cut Conor McGregor has startled his fans by uploading a series of photos of his family on Halloween without his trademark beard. The UFC star was nearly unrecognizable without his trademark facial hair. He dressed as a pilot for the celebration of Halloween on October 31st, 2022, while his long-term girlfriend Dee Devlin dressed up as an air hostess. The Irishman shared many photos of his children, Conor Jr., Croya, and Ryan, dressed up for a night of fun and trick-or-treating. The former UFC champion's dog even made an appearance in the Halloween photos, but that wasn't what drew fans' attention as they raced to social media in disbelief that McGregor had shaved his beard. McGregor hopes to return to the UFC in the first quarter of 2023, beard or no beard, despite Dana White's recent revelation that he is not presently in the USADA testing pool. Given that it has been over a year since McGregor's last test, he must be made available for testing for the next 6 months. His time frame would only align with the UFC's president if he returned in April, which is logically the earliest he could if he immediately re-entered the testing pool. When questioned about McGregor's position at UFC 280, White stated that the former two-weight champion must undergo 6 months of testing. McGregor would have to pass 2 drug tests in order to fight, since the UFC only grants exemptions under rare circumstances. Since losing twice against Dustin Poirier in 2021, McGregor has greatly bulked up. In their second battle, he fractured his leg and had surgery to heal it, resulting in this lengthy layoff. It remains to be seen whether the 34-year-old Dublinder's days as lightweight are ended, and it will be intriguing to see which class and opponent are chosen for him. Having won just 1 fight since 2016, he is without a doubt keen to show himself again. Hasbulla, an internet celebrity, has pledged to cause problems for Conor McGregor if the two ever meet. Hasbulla Magomedov, an 18-year-old, 3-foot-tall dwarf from Dagestan, Russia, rose to fame in 2020 when clips of the Russian went popular on TikTok, and he has since become friends with the former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. McGregor and Khabib engaged in a nasty grudge bout in 2018, and the two still do not see eye to eye, which has led to the Irishman developing a strong disdain for Hasbulla. McGregor insulted Hasbulla on Twitter earlier this year, calling the internet personality a smelly little inbred, and said, "I'd love to boot that little gimp Hasbulla over a goalpost." McGregor deleted the tweets thereafter. Hasbulla has now replied to McGregor's comments and asserts that he no longer respects the 34-year-old. "Yeah, I saw all of his tweets of me, but he is not my opponent. He can just talk. He's not like a fighter for me. I don't respect him as a fighter," Hasbulla said to the Full Send podcast. "And if I meet him, I will cause some problems for him. I don't know yet what he will do, but I will definitely do something." Although he has not yet determined how he would approach a prospective face-to-face encounter with McGregor, Hasbulla has said that he has no desire to engage in verbal insults with the former two-weight world champion. He continued, "I'm not going to talk to him. If I see that he wants something, I'll dismiss him." McGregor has said that he expects to return to the octagon in the first quarter of 2023 and wants to have numerous fights next year, having not fought since injuring his leg in his trilogy fight with Dustin Poirier in July 2021. The duo might finally meet at a UFC event shortly. Dana White recently confirmed that McGregor has not yet entered the USADA drug testing pool, which would scupper this plan. Prior to competing, UFC fighters must be available for testing for a period of 6 months. McGregor is currently filming a remake of the 1989 film Roadhouse alongside Hollywood star Jake Gyllenhaal, and it remains to be seen if he will return to the UFC next year. Ric Flair, a WWE Hall of Famer, expressed his admiration for Logan and Jake Paul, even going so far as to claim that Jake Paul could handle Conor McGregor in the boxing ring. The problem child, Jake Paul, improved to a 6-0 in his professional boxing career after defeating UFC legend Anderson Silva last weekend. Additionally, he has wins over notable MMA fighters such as Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. On his To Be the Man podcast, The Nature Boy discussed the potential for a Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor showdown. On these boxing matchups, Flair said, "Conor, I think he could handle. I don't know about Canelo. Conor can't use the wrestling skills. They can't use the submissions. You know what I mean?" Conor McGregor made history as the first fighter to hold 2 world belts concurrently in the UFC. The Notorious earned the featherweight and lightweight thrones in 2016. In 2017, he also faced boxing legend Floyd Mayweather in his last professional contest. Conor McGregor has been generally recognized as the face of the fight game for many years. From his first ascension in the UFC to his superstardom outside the cage, Notorious has done an outstanding job establishing his brand as the most valuable commodity in mixed martial arts. Now, at age 34, he is still anxious to establish a point, which is why the former 2-weight world champion insists he will return to the octagon. Now we'll take a look at a few known fighters that we feel to be the forerunners in the race to meet Conor. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is coming off a disappointing defeat to Charles Oliveira, and with the rest of the lightweight category being tied, it makes perfect sense for him to engage in a stand-up fight with McGregor. In the past, these two have engaged in a back and forth, and if anybody is going to stand in the pocket and trade with this dude, it will be the knockout artist, the Highlight himself. Tony Ferguson. Since he suffered several losses in 2018, Tony Ferguson's life has been spiraling downward. El Cucuy is still one of all-time greats at 155 pounds, but his status has dropped due to a series of consecutive defeats. This is the best method for McGregor to test himself against an opponent who has always had an issue with him, while also knowing he would likely win. McGregor won the featherweight battle back in the day, Poirier won the respectful match, and the Diamond triumphed owing to a terrible leg break last summer. Conor looks to have moved on from this, whilst Dustin is scheduled to face Michael Chandler in New York City. Unfortunately, there seems to be unfinished business here, and it would be a shame if the UFC did not investigate. Jorge Masvidal. If this fight had been scheduled in a 2020 world in which the pandemic never occurred, there is a strong possibility that it would have been one of the UFC's largest pay-per-view events. It wouldn't be quite as significant in 2023, but even so, we're still talking about the 2 greatest names in the sport right now. If this is not welterweight money printing, we do not know what is. Want to get more updates on Conor McGregor? Who do you think possibly will be added to the list of McGregor's future matchups? Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe to Combat Recap and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Thank you.